Hello, my friend. In this video, I'm going to show you how to promote your music on Spotify based on everything that I've learned releasing my own music on Spotify and getting about over 5 million streams on the platform. So let's jump right on in. So there are 5 steps that I would say that you want to definitely take into account when you are going to go about properly promoting your music on Spotify. And the first is to avoid artificial streams at all costs. Second is to fully understand the Spotify algorithm and all of the Spotify playlists that are available to you. Then you're going to want to create a release strategy that takes advantage of that Spotify algorithm and those playlists. Then you're going to want to know how to send high quality listeners over to Spotify. And lastly, you're just going to want to kind of repeat this process by following a simple and repeatable promotion system. So before diving into these 5 steps in a lot more detail, I did want to let you know that I've also written an article on this topic. So if you'd like to follow along, or if you prefer the written word format, you can simply Google how to promote your music on Spotify, Best Friends Club, and you'll get access to this guide for free. There's a whole bunch of links out to a lot of the information in this guide, so I definitely would recommend checking it out. But with that said, let's jump on into it. So the very first thing that you're going to want to definitely understand is that you're going to want to avoid what are called artificial streams at all costs. So Spotify defines an artificial stream as a stream or a play that does not mirror user listening behavior or intent. This basically includes any attempt to manipulate Spotify with automated processes like bots, scripts, or click farms. As Spotify gets more and more concerned with becoming a profitable business, which if you didn't know, they are not, they are taking fake or fraudulent streams more and more seriously. This means that Spotify is not only taking away streams from songs that they think have fraudulent artificial streams, but they are even starting to completely remove those songs from their service altogether. So to keep their partnership in good standing with Spotify, some music distributors may even drop you from their distribution service if you get caught doing this. So when you're looking to promote your music on Spotify, always make sure that you are avoiding things like services that guarantee a specific amount of streams, services that put you on playlists that you can't review first, and playlists only filled with unknown and unrelated artists, so like completely random genres and styles, if you're able to actually see what's on that playlist. So what's up about this is sometimes it's a little bit easier if you can actually get access to the playlist. You can see what's on it. And sometimes you might be working with like a PR company or a music promotion company, and they might seem legit and they might do something like this. And then you're going to have to deal with a lot of having streams removed and maybe having to deal with the music distributor kicking you off and Spotify pulling stuff down. And it really sucks. And it's something you just want to make sure that you're going to be avoiding at all costs from the beginning. So it's important to note that struggling artists are easy prey for people trying to make a quick buck on the internet, and just be aware of anything that is generally just too quick, easy, or seems too good to be true on your journey to growing your Spotify streams. So with that out of the way, that kind of annoying little don't do this, we can start diving into what you actually should do and what I found definitely works. So what you're going to want to definitely do is you're going to want to fully understand the Spotify algorithm and all of the available Spotify playlists. So Spotify rewards artists that bring highly targeted and engaged listeners to their platform by giving artists the opportunity to get placed on Spotify's algorithmic and editorial playlists. Getting your song placed on one of these playlists means your song will get shown to thousands of potential new listeners who are similar to your current listeners for absolutely for free. So these playlists and the algorithm that powers them are absolutely key to how successful your Spotify promotion can be. One of the reasons that Spotify is so successful and loved by its users is because of the powerful algorithm that powers it. Have you ever heard someone gush about how Spotify always recommends them awesome music? And you probably have. So how does it do it? So the Spotify algorithm keeps track of its users' listening habits and behaviors so that it can effectively recommend music to someone based on what someone who has similar listening habits and behaviors is already listening to. This is truly the first step in figuring out how you can effectively promote your music on Spotify. After all, if you were trying to get something out of any platform, whether it's Spotify, Facebook, Instagram, or whatever, you need to know how they work and what they are trying to achieve first. These platforms have their own goals, and by helping them achieve their goals, only will then you be rewarded. A good comparison to Spotify's algorithm is something like the Google and YouTube algorithms. So in this case, the purpose of the Google and YouTube algorithms is to give you the most valuable content possible so that you stay on the platform and spend as much time on that platform as possible. What the Spotify algorithm in particular is always trying to do is to recommend songs that people want to listen to so that people spend more time inside of the Spotify app as possible. The more time a user spends inside of the Spotify app, the more opportunities Spotify has to sell ads to companies, keep people on premium subscriptions, subscriptions and tell investors that their numbers are growing so they can get more and more investment money. So from my personal experience of releasing 20 plus songs, I think it's about 42 or 3 now, getting over 4,000 streams, 4 million streams rather, I guess over 5 million streams I should say, and landing on well over 20 editorial and algorithmic playlists, I've found that if the Spotify algorithm notices that any song is streamed, saved, and listened to at a higher than average rates, it is much more likely to push that song out to similar people. It does this by placing your music on algorithmic playlists like Release Radar and Discover Weekly of Spotify users that aren't even following you on Spotify, but are similar to the group of listeners that you originally had. So then, what are the numbers that the Spotify algorithm is actually looking for? I go into this a bunch more in this video about the Spotify algorithm hack, but of course, the algorithm is looking at the overall number of streams your song is getting, but there are some other less obvious things that it looks at as well, such as the save rate, which is how many of your listeners are actually saving your song, the listen rate, which is how many times on average your listeners are listening to your song, playlist ads, which is how many people are adding your songs to their own playlists, new followers, which is how many people follow your Spotify artist profile during the release of your song, and hitting solid numbers in any of these will increase your chances of your song getting pushed out. So when you're first starting out, I kind of think a rough thing to look for is a save rate of 40% or higher, which is likely to trigger the algorithm when it's combined with a listen rate of 1.8 or higher and has a decent amount of total streams for your song, which is at least 400 plus, 500 plus. And that's basically based on some stuff that I've heard on YouTube, as well as tracking my own stats daily for release after release. I think I did on a spreadsheet for about 20 or 30 songs before I kind of started to slow down on it because things are just kind of going well. But I collected a lot of data and this seemed to be kind of the early signs. So if you're seeing numbers like this, watch carefully on an upcoming Friday, as you have a high potential for triggering the Spotify algorithm and getting pushed into the Release Radar playlist of users that don't follow your profile, which is a really nice feeling. So once you have a solid idea of the Spotify algorithm, how it works, what you're going to want to do is then create a release strategy that takes advantage of the Spotify algorithm. So if you think you'll be able to release one song and run a few Facebook ads or something like that to have that song pop off, you're just completely dead wrong. It's important to take the time to plan out 6 to 12 months worth of releases and make sure that your music is in a release-ready state so that you can truly focus on promotion once you actually get started. Effectively promoting your music will be hard work, and if you're wasting time struggling to finish music at the same time, it will just be so much harder. Because your music can be exposed to thousands of new listeners for free within the first 28 days of its release on Spotify's Release Radar playlist in particular, I highly recommend that you aim to release a new song every 28 days, which is roughly every 4 to 5 weeks. Each release is another chance to trigger the algorithm, each release is another chance to pitch to the Spotify editors, and both the Spotify algorithm and editors are looking at traction and momentum as well when they're actually deciding when they're going to put a song on any given playlist, whether it's algorithmic or editorial. So if they see an artist continuing to put out new music and hit better numbers, they are more likely to actually pay attention. In addition to this, you will learn how to run better release campaigns and promote your music better the more releases that you actually do. And here's a harsh truth and some tough love for you, but no matter how great you think your music is, you don't get to decide if your song is a hit or not. A song that you think is a hit might end up being a flop, while the song that you thought might just be a B-side or just a throwaway track could go viral. The listeners decide, not you. The more often you release music, the more opportunities you give the fans the opportunity to decide if this release is going to be the one, based on how they're listening to the song, engaging with it, listening to it, saving it, adding it to playlists, all that stuff, which then affects the algorithm and then sends it out to more playlists and then maybe the editors see it, and that's kind of the cycle of things. But it all starts from how actual listeners and fans actually react to your music. So now that you've built out a 6 to 12 month release strategy so that you can take advantage of the Spotify algorithmic playlist that you actually do have some control over, the next thing you're going to want to actually do is figure out how to send high quality listeners over to Spotify during each of those 28-day release periods. So in my experience, I noticed that social media posting is not quite enough because you can't scale it up easily since you can only post so much in one day. I've also found that playlist pitching also doesn't work because your song is only playlisted for so long and the listeners don't pay attention enough to save the song or follow the artist, which means that you don't get those kind of metrics that I was talking about earlier, those high save rates, those high repeat listens and all that kind of stuff. So what have I found that actually does work the best then? So I've honestly found that Facebook ads is the best, and that's because Facebook ads provide in-depth targeting options, flexible budgeting, and has an algorithm on its own that can optimize itself to get the most results possible for the lowest cost possible. So basically, you have the power to send highly targeted listeners over to your Spotify profile from Facebook and Instagram, and then you can leverage Facebook's tools, machine learning, and algorithms to optimize your ads by themselves and find you more of those fans for less. This can then lead to a snowball effect of increasing your chances of tripping the Spotify algorithm, which will find you even more of those types of fans for free with their machine learning and their AI and all that kind of stuff. So if you do want to learn a little bit more about Facebook ads, how to set them up on all that kind of stuff, I do have a completely free course that you can check out. There's a link in the text version of this guide here. Facebook ads for musicians. There's no email or sign up required if you want to go over to that. And there is like a more of a course style one you can sign up, and that's actually free too. So, but you do have to give your email. So, but if you just want the text one, it's right there for you. Facebook ads is a really large topic. That's why I made a dedicated course for that. And I'd recommend checking that out. And then lastly, we're going to move on to step 5, which is to follow a simple and repeatable promotion system. So most articles and videos on the internet will tell you like the 250 things that you need to do, or give advice like be on every social media platform to promote your music properly. I've honestly found that the truth is that this advice is usually more of an attempt to reach a certain word count or video length and makes you fall into the trap of thinking that more equals better. The truth is that as an independent artist or musician, you have very limited resources, both time and money, and you need to choose how you use your resources very, very, very wisely. So because you will be repeating this process constantly, my recommendation is to focus on just a few very specific tasks. And by focusing only on a select few steps that are actually going to move the needle, you'll feel a lot less overwhelmed and be able to easily repeat those steps for every single release you do. So do remember, the ideal way to do this is by having a new song every single 28 days. You're going to have to be doing it quite a lot. And with that said, I think really the secret here is to simply kind of copy and paste these steps each time you're releasing a new song. So I've put together a simple 7-step Spotify release checklist that I've used to get over that 5 million stream count that you can have for free. There'll be a link to it in the description. And what's cool about that is it's an interactive checklist. So there's the 7 steps. You can unfurl each. It'll give you more information about each, as well as articles and videos about each, so you know how to do it, why you should be doing it, all that kind of stuff. Actually, there's also you can access the Facebook ads course for free inside of that free checklist, and I have another music link, Smart Link course, that's also for free inside of that checklist as well. So that's kind of definitely the go-to thing I would recommend checking out. So this checklist has been a lifesaver for me, and is really the heart and soul of how I successfully promote my music on Spotify. Even to this day, I'm still following these 7 steps. So be sure to review the 7 steps in that checklist and click around there. There's way more information in there, even more information about each step and why it's so important. And check out all the courses inside of that free checklist as well, all completely free, all there for you. So with that said, hopefully you found this video useful on how to promote your music on Spotify. What's really cool about Spotify, and I've definitely kind of drilled it home, is that other than other streaming services and ways to get your music out there, there's like this algorithm that you can actually learn, and there's all these different playlists that you can actually learn how to game, and you can have actually some control over. I think I was honestly not that crazy about Spotify until I realized how much control that you can actually have in making a difference with how your music is actually taking off, which is really cool. So hopefully you found this video useful. If you did, like and subscribe and all that good stuff. Definitely check out that checklist in the description below. And other than that, good luck on your next release, and I'll see you in the next video, my friend. Have a good one.